Welcome to the September 9th, 2019 regular business board meeting of the Batavia Township Trustees. That's hard for me to say. And as usual, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have Ethan Kenner with us. I hope I got that right. And if you would, Ethan, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Dowdy?
Here.
Mr. Sauls?
Here.
Mr. Perry?
Here. Looking for a motion for approval of the agenda and minutes as presented.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Dowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Sauls?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. And we're looking for a motion to recommend the Board of Trustees approve the minutes of the August 5th regular meeting and the August 9th special meeting as presented.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Dowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Sauls?
Yes.
Financial report. Jennifer.
Well, I advanced sent these out, so I think everything looks on track. We're way ahead in zoning for the year as far as planning. And I don't see any big trickle down yet from our increases in gas tax.
Right.
That hasn't hit the books yet, so, I mean, all in all, revenue-wise, it looks really good. And, just a side note, I had a meeting with People's Bank middle of August, and they about tripled our interest earning rate from 0.35 to 1.25, so you should see a major increase in interest. As far as payment goes, I think the last quarter of cemetery payments in here, the second half of the sheriff's contract's in here, Cross Point paving, that's later in the agenda, payment on the to Lebanon Ford on the truck that we bought that Kenny Embry told me tonight that it's the calf and barter, right?
Yes.
Getting equipped, so I think we got the stripes and stickers in for it, so anyway, I think that's all that's remarkable for August. Unless you have any questions.
No, I didn't have it.
So no surprises.
No, I don't think so.
Need a motion to recommend the Board of Trustees approve the August financial report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Sauls?
Yes.
Mr. Dowdy?
Yes.
Deputy Kidder, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board.
Afternoon.
I prepared the Batavia Township crime report for the month of August for you. For the month of August, Batavia Township deputies took 189 offense reports. Compared to the month of July, we had 166. That's a 14% increase in offense reports we took. The highest crime type this month were theft offenses. Really, nothing more of note in there. I'm gonna touch up on our overdoses a little later for individual crimes. Our activity in the month, we had 24 adult arrests, 2 juvenile arrests, we had 32 warrant attempts, we had 48 warrants served. We recited 40 warrants, we attempted 41 civil papers, and we served 100. For report comparisons, we took 189 offense reports were taken in the township. Your 6 Batavia Township deputies took 103. That's 54%. For incident reports, there were 245 in the township. We took 189. That's 77%. And stolen property recovered, we had $2,000 worth for the month of August. For overdoses in the township, we had 6 total, which as you can see is the most we've had all year. We had 1 at Oakmont Flats. We had actually 2 at the same residence for the same individual in East Fork Crossing.
When you say there's 2, like one address, is that 2 different occurrences and days or what?
Yes, sir. It was 2 separate overdoses for the same individual at the same location.
How far apart was that?
I don't have that exact information, but I can tell you that per usual, all the resources were offered to that individual for quick reaction team follow-up and for counseling and rehab services. I'm not sure of that person's status right now, but we gave them every opportunity to get some treatment. We got another at University. We had another overdose at the condos at Winter Circle, and I'll comment on that one too. Since we had 6 overdoses, that one was not illegal drugs; it was prescribed medication, but we still counted it as a drug overdose because that's how it was treated.
But it wasn't intentional.
No, sir. No, it was not. It wasn't illegal substances. And the last overdose for the month was at the homeless shelter. We've done burglaries in the township. We had 3. 1 on College Drive. We had 1 in Greenbrier Mobile Home Park. And we had another on Old 32 in the 2200 block. For breaking and entering crimes in the township, there were 2 that were reported. 1 on College Drive, and another at 4400 State Route 222. Any questions?
In the past, I know we asked Brian this, not, whenever you get a chance. I know you guys are busy and doing a great job. Thank you very much. How does that compare usually for like last August? It seemed to me like last August, it's almost like a back to school array before we go, and it spikes a lot of different things, I'm just curious if it's possible that you could get us like a comparison year to date for the same months last year or whatever, just to see if it's trending.
Everything seems to be in the same location, pretty much.
Yeah.
Greenbrier.
It is.
College Drive.
It's the same old story for this line of work. I can definitely, next township meeting, I can definitely get you a comparison compared to 2018 for you. Towards the end of the year, I'll do an annual comparison from 2019 to 2018 for you guys. If there's any other specific information, just let me know. I'll gladly get that together for you.
Other than that, I don't have any other questions.
Good job.
Great job. Thank you for a good report.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, also on public participation. We have Weston Gruber. He's the first one on the agenda. You ready to come up, Weston?
Yeah.
You nervous?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Trustees, this is Weston Gruber.
Hello.
Aye.
And you're going to tell us a little bit about your project you want to do. He wants to an Eagle Scout project here at the township. So he's prepared a PowerPoint that I'm going to bring up, and he's going to go through it. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
Weston, if you want, you can kind of turn that thing a little sideways so you can let the folks behind you know just as much as we know.
I have a video that has the basics of the game. Touch the wall of the dugout pit to start the game. One player tosses the ball up in the air. Players yell, "Ga, ga, ball." Then they start. Players hit the ball with their open hands only. When I carry or throw the ball, may not hit the ball twice in a row. Any player who is touched by the ball below the waist for any reason, they must exit the ball pit. If the ball hits the player above the waist, the player is still in. If a player catches the ball before it bounces, the player who last had the ball is out.
If there are only 2 players remaining, a player may hit the ball up to 3 times in a row. The ball is refreshed with the contact with the wall, and that makes the hit count reset. Do not sit on the walls of the Gaga pit. This can make and break. You may also not use the walls to support yourself to kick your legs up and avoid the ball.
That's it.
Very good.
What,
Next up, we have
next up you have, I believe, Jim Kenner?
Ethan Kenner.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Ethan Kenner. I'm going to be presenting my Eagle Scout project to you. So what I was wanting to do was I was wanting to build a few obstacles for the dog park in the back. So you could have the owners running around with the dogs, playing with them, and the dogs finding different things. So I put up a few designs that I personally would like to do. So you have, in the bottom right, you have some weave poles, which the dog secures in an obstacle course or a competition for dogs. They weave back and forth through the poles. Then there is a hoop for them to jump through, a balance beam for them to walk on. For the balance beam, that's a bit more narrow than the picture than I could find. I was wanting to build it out of a 4x6. And then you have the hoops for them to run through in the top. My plan for these is to have 2 of them, 2 of each design, for smaller dogs and then for the larger dogs. Just so it's more accepted for both of them and they both have something to do, so I'm not just prioritizing one or the other. Next is a canopy design for the benches back there for the owners to sit on, so to protect them, to give them a little shade, or say it's raining a little bit to keep them dry. So I was wanting to build a 4-hole design like this, but instead of it being flat roof, it being slanted a bit. So the top would be higher and the top would be out. And then having it slant down to the people's backs. And I'm talking to someone about supplying the metal and doing the designs right now. And I'm in the process of contacting him and getting out the information I need.
Yeah.
Good deal. Look forward to working with you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you
very much, Ethan. Job well done.
Thank you.
Up next,
Up next, we have Tom Terciano, Public Waste and Recycling. He has all.
So anyway, here is a look at what your current collection schedule is. This is what the map looks like. Now I'm gonna let Paul kind of talk about the logistics and the operation of this reroute project that we want to propose. Yeah.
So, as Tom already said, we based it on the number of units that we thought we were gonna have. And once we got into it and the tonnages in different areas, what we're finding out is we have several routes that are too heavy on certain days, and some guys are too light. So now that we actually have good, solid information going 9 months in, we came up with where my supervisor over this area is doing a reroute to make us more efficient, even it out so that all the drivers basically have the same amount of tonnage, the same amount of customers. And it just makes us more efficient, which allows us to keep our costs down. And that's kind of what I just said. You know, we got much better data. It's also going to allow us some room for some growth, especially with the potential for the Amelia dissolvement, which would get us about, I think, 650,
600 to 700
600
units.
to 700 units, which would put us back to where we thought we were originally going to be. Plus, with some other growth in the township, it's just going to, it makes it easier for us to grow. And as you grow, it becomes seamless for your customers.
Can we go back a slide or two real quick?
Sure.
If the Amelia were to dissolve, you've got the day picked out that you picked up.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. My question is, what about carts form?
We will order carts and get them taken care of.
Okay, all right.
It-
And they would have recycling as well?
Yeah, it would have the, it would be
Same
the
thing
same
you have,
thing.
exact same.
Okay.
Basically, if they were to dissolve, it would be at least 30 days before they would certify the vote.
Correct.
So we would have 30 days to order carts for that route.
I mean, it would be it's a very tight window. I think
We
Well,
can
we
give
can-
them 2 weeks,
Yeah.
a week and a half. Once we place the order, they can have them here.
I think the key would be is, you know, if they dissolve, so November 5th is the vote, 30 days, December 5th. The question is if they dissolve, if they approve it on December 5th, everybody certifies the election, when does it take place? Is it January 1 or is it December the 6th?
Well, I think a service like this would be a negotiated or at least anticipated, it would be
So if it was January 1,
probably be
it would give us almost a month, but you know, you got holidays in there.
Yeah.
So we would have to, whatever it is, we'll make it happen, but
Who does the village have at this point?
Rumpke is their provider.
Rumpke? Okay. Mr. Corey, you got something to say?
Yes, I was curious, do you have the data on the amount of units that are in the village of Amelia that you would pick up? In other words, are you 100% sure that if this dissolve does go through, that you guys will be able to service those residents on Wednesday?
Yes,
That's, the reroute is designed to absorb Amelia on Wednesday.
what we'd like to
So you have
have,
data on the units?
what we'd like to have is the data on the units. We
Yeah.
don't have that. We have the estimated number and we know where they are and we can tie them in geographically, but to have
Actual hard data.
the hard data would be
That would
beneficial.
help us, that would help my
Well, that would
super.
come would that come from the auditor?
Well,
They have the auditor information now.
yeah.
What they don't have would probably either come from the village office or from the provider itself that can give you the number of stops and the tonnage. I don't know.
I'm not worried about the tonnage, I'm just worried about the addresses and customer information that we
Well,
have.
Yeah, and the whole reason I brought this up is, it would just be a bummer to change everybody's days just to find out you might have to change them again,
Yeah, this,
if you don't have that data yet.
this plan has been made, so guess what?
It's happening no matter what.
This happens
All right.
regardless, and we had to make that commitment
Yeah, I got you.
to prepare for it.
I don't know, maybe you can reach out to the village and get the hard
I will
data.
try, I've tried to deal with them before. I'll try again.
Under old business, I have Village of Amelia, and put that, because we've been talking about that on and off. But just so you know, and nothing's really changed since the last time we met, we've met with the state auditor and the county auditor, as I think I told you earlier, there are a lot of unanswered questions about this. The state auditor has never done anything of this size. But he said certainly during the period of transition, we would make sure that all the services that Batavia Township residents get now, all of those people in the Village of Amelia on our side, or the north side of 125, would get those same services in a timely manner. There's been some concern about the calls from 911. I've talked to not only the Sheriff's Department about that, and talked to Kevin Riley, the Central Joint Fire and EMS District Chief about that. It involved John Kiskaden, who is the director of the Claremont County Communications Center, about how calls would get rerouted. It's pretty simple. It's just a matter of planning. When we know that this is going to occur, or if this occurs, it's just a matter of planning on when that transfer will come. When the residents in Amelia would call 911, instead of getting a hold of the call would then be directed, instead of the Union Township's call center, be directed to the Claremont County Communications call center. Then they will dispatch the people. And of course, all that planned ahead is going to work very smoothly. Sheriff's Department already knows. They're already researching the calls. They know they have the personnel to handle that. I talked to Kevin Riley at the Central Joint. He has the resources as well. And also, Kenny Embry has been over there researching the number of roads, the signage and that kind of stuff, and he has a plan for taking care of that. Because of course, if that does occur, it's going to be probably wintertime when we have to go out there and take care of the roads, clear the snow. And I know I've talked with Brad and Denise about the potential for taking the zoning and the nuisance abatement on for that as well. And of course, you heard from this evening from Republic, they're ready to go with that as well. So at this point in time, we're just kind of waiting and looking ahead. We'll continue to make plans and we'll see what happens. Claremont County Park application. I wanted to tell you that I have this on the agenda a little bit later on. I have that in front of me now. I've talked to you. It's due actually by October the 1st of this year. And this is our last scheduled meeting before October 1st. So I have on the agenda for the board to permit me to apply for a grant using this program to try to get some funds for park improvements. We have spoken about a couple different things. Frisbee golf was one of those. Most recently, we talked about a bathroom facility here as well as a spray park. I know we had a field trip last week and we went out to look at a spray park. I'm still waiting on an alternate price for a spray park that we originally talked about. I haven't got that back yet. And then as well as bathrooms as well.